the risk parity crowd. Don't forget that they've struggled for a while here now. So has relative value. So there are a lot of systematic strategies. Don't forget that 84% of daily trading is systematic. Okay, 84%. So 84% is not like a human being putting in a block order to buy like Amazon. It's systematic. It's rules based. That means that when you get volatility do what it did, you're going to have a lot of behavior change. When vol goes from 10 to 40, that's going to change your positioning, because if you operate within the sphere of rules, that's just how it goes. So this might just be what it is, which is a massive cluster of volatility that is basically self-reinforcing, or reflexive, as Soros would call it. And that's the most important reason why this morning you shouldn't make decisions emotionally, and you should wait and watch. If you don't have the patience to wait and watch 3 days, you might think it's 1987. At some point, 1987 is an interesting call to make, but at some point it's not a good call to make. That's the whole point. In 1987, there were drastically different economic conditions and profit conditions, and there were drastically different expectations for things like emerging markets in Russia. Now, if anything, the entire world is along a globally synchronized recovery, whereas Hedgeye's view, don't forget, is a global divergences. So again, when you write down all the things that you could be concerned about, we actually have a lot of things we've been concerned about. We don't have you in emerging market equities. We don't have you in European equities. We don't have you in Zimbabwe equities, and we certainly don't have you in Bitcoin. We're currently long the NASDAQ, and long the NASDAQ may or may not be a good call from here. We're going to have to see. It may be awesome by the end of the day. You might feel great, but not go with how you feel. Go with the process. If the NASDAQ can recover, actually it's still holding intermediate term trend here, don't forget. It's still bullish, so again, I'm bullish. And the outlook is bullish. We're on the NASDAQ earnings, just to finish my rant. Look at the earnings case. So, I'm not just trying to call it the negatives, there are positives obviously as well. I'm just trying to remind you that there are plenty of negatives that matter. You just hear me more clearly when the market's going down. Is the NASDAQ earnings season? Look at the update on that. All right, so is that as good as it gets? Maybe. Don't forget that the toughest comparison for NASDAQ earnings are Q1, which will be reported in April. So maybe we are entering that period of as good as it gets. And we've said this all along. All I needed was the market to tell me, when that risk is on or off. And you're gonna hear me wait and watch a little longer here, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to learn a lot from the bounce if we get one today or tomorrow or the next day. I don't know what day it's going to come, but I'm happy to wait and watch for that.